So how have you been?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I haven't seen you much lately. You've
know.
kind of been gone.
We've been like MIA, but we haven't even been together. Welcome to Pharmacists Out of the Box. I'm Bryn.
And I'm Heather. And the camera's up there.
And the camera's there.
Yeah.
He's joining us. Yeah.
And a pup is way over there. A little pup.
So
but
cute.
he's taking a nap.
Yeah, we're not going to move him.
So yeah, you've been so busy and so many, I've seen Facebook, you've been like doing all kinds of fun stuff. So what's been going on?
Yes, best part of the summer was hands down Keys trip. Like going down, lobstering in the Keys. Beautiful. I could just be in the water all the time. It's great.
I didn't know there were lobsters down there. I mean, I guess I should have known that, but I don't know. I think of Alaska and lobsters or something.
Oh,
I don't know why.
No, they're delicious. And they're really hard to get. Like, we would go in like 15 to 20 foot waters, dive down. So this year I finally got like the super long fins. So you can like for sure get down. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was fun. It was the
So
limiting.
you had to hold your breath.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was definitely my limiting factor. Like the breath. Like I wouldn't get worn out from the fins like in years past. Like just the swimming act itself was tough. Just because my fins were shorter, we're diving deeper. This time we were still diving deeper, but you got to like blow your ears clear. You've got to maintain breath and calmness at the bottom. And so that was interesting. My friend kept going, it's all mental. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a physical combination too. I'm pretty sure I should have ran more, bicycled more.
What is the purpose of staying calm or
like you can hold your breath a lot
Longer?
longer than you think you can. It's crazy. Yeah. It wasn't until like the last day I think I held it a little long and my fingers got a little tingly or something. But I mean, it's just so beautiful under there, under the water. And,
how deep? Do you know how deep it was?
usually we were in 15 to 20 foot waters. There were some areas that were more shallow. But you look for these like coral head rocks and then you look under them and sometimes you'll see sharks, eels, fish. Like the sharks got me a little scared. Like I saw more sharks this year than I had in other years, but most of them were nurse sharks.
I was just saying what kinds. Okay,
yeah. And then my friend, I remember there were like 2 coral heads and I'm watching her because there's a barracuda on one and I'm like, she's totally going to check that second one. I know she's not going to like just pass up that coral. Sure enough, she's done checking the first one and barracuda coral. She like goes over there. He swims away. She checks and comes back up and barracuda just swims right back by. I'm like, girl.
Those barracuda now, because we have snorkel down in the Keys, which is awesome. The Keys are great for snorkeling, and those barracuda, like they're just looking at you, like you're snorkeling, and they got the teeth. They're just sitting there, their mouth open, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, like, this is my spot.
This is my spot. What are you doing here? Like, okay. No, they're kind of intimidating to me, but.
We found amazing babysitters for like 3 days. Like I didn't have a babysitter.
Did
the
you
last
know
minute.
them before? Wow.
I used Facebook and saw like another Gator mom that had her daughter, and I messaged her and I reached out to I think like a church down there and messaged, do you have any moms? What babysitters do they use? So I came up with like I think 3 or 4 different names, and 2 of them were available and they were amazing. Like my son seriously thought he was on vacation because one of the moms was a teacher, so she brought her son and watched another kid. So Owen's like, yeah, this is great. Are they coming over the next day? I'm like, no, we're done on the boat. That was a babysitter.
Well, that's crazy. So you just recommendations from friends on Facebook?
Yeah,
like that's
I
never
tried
would think
like
about that.
care.com and I couldn't get it to work, and Bambino, what I use up here in Central Florida, wasn't big enough down there. Like you can put your vacation address in there, and there was like one girl and she wasn't available. So I just, that week before I kept trying. I'm like, I need a babysitter. I need to be on that boat without my child. But it worked out perfectly. Got a lot of family time, close connection with family. And so this has been kind of big. I've changed jobs. So I used to be rural, like an hour away, and I loved it out there. Like just those patients, they're just the kindest, sweetest patients. Like I really enjoyed that small town feel. I loved my techs out there, and it was
You probably felt like they really needed you.
Yes.
Like you were doing something really good and impactful for them.
Yes, such an impact every day you went. But as I worked more, I realized I was with my family less, like 2 hours that you're on the road, 10-hour days. And then like my son, is he 4 now? Yeah, he's 4. Mom, blank. I know, right? And so I just really was feeling like his behavior was getting worse. Like I wasn't there as a mom. And so I really decided to make the shift of okay, I've got to find somewhere closer to home and maybe drop it down to part-time or less hours, because I think I was doing around 35 or 40 hours at that time, but it was still like 3 or 4 days.
And you had a car accident too.
That was another thing. Yeah. So I think after our chiropractor episode or something, how timely, I got rear-ended in a rainstorm, and it was my first like accident as an adult. Like I was in one when I was a child, and so it really shook me up, because you realize like you don't have control over life. I mean, children in general really drill that lesson into you, but to be like rear-ended, and like I've been on this like fitness program, and I'm like, all of my gains were just like slashed in half. Like I just couldn't lift. It was awful. Like, and I felt so bad. It was like this young girl. She was super nice. Like obviously she didn't want to hit me. It was an accident, but it like scared me. Now every time like people, like I come to a red light, I like tense up, and I have to physically like tell myself, just relax, it's okay. So now like I'm adding in this like tension of like an accident and doing this hour commute. And so it was hard to like work through that part of it too. So it was like,
yeah, they'd say the longer you're on the road, I mean, your chances of having an accident go up.
right,
Yeah.
right. In a lot of areas I'd be doing high speed because it's just wide open roads.
Right.
So I'm like, gosh, if I get hit by a logging truck at this rate, I'm going to be screwed. You know?
Yeah.
So it was hard. So we definitely thought about it a lot, ran a lot of numbers, prayed a lot, and just really felt like, okay, if something opens up closer to home, we just have to like go for that just for our family. So it opened up, and we've been able to do family dinners together because I'm home on time, like around usually 7 at the latest, 7:15. And so we do the family dinners. We actually have like breakfast together now. And so it's
awesome.
making...
Like you feel normal, like
yes.
like a normal life. So are you off on the weekends or anything?
I'm working about every other Saturday, but we're closed Sunday.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that's okay.
It totally works.
How many hours are you full time?
So yeah, I kind of went into it thinking part-time 20 to 30, but I'm going to stay at the 30 hours and do the full-time thing. And it's such a blessing.
So in general, so for those of people out there who might be wanting to make a shift, it kind of happened pretty quickly. Like, was that because you reached out, you kind of knocked on some doors and said, hey, is there an opportunity here? Or how did that kind of play out for you to find?
It was kind of a mix. So it was like reaching out, but it was also previous people I had worked with had come to me like, hey, we've got some needs coming up, like so-and-so's got surgery, da-da-da-da, like different things they could see down the line coming. And so I was like, oh, well, that's really close to home. I love being there. So it is very much like anywhere I go, I want to be of service and help the most that I can. So I think that makes a big difference. But then just realizing your priorities, I think, is a hard thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, as a mom, you're like pulled a certain way, but then you really want to make a difference in healthcare. There's just so many different things you're trying to balance: your health, your self-care, your relationships. Like,
well, and you cut your hours, which I'm assuming you cut your pay, and that's what you're talking about. You and your husband kind of sat down and calculated. And I think for people who've reached out to me about making a shift, that's kind of something you have to think about. Like, yeah, you can have that job if you want to stick with something that's full-time and is successful, but you have to sit down and think about what's important to you. And sometimes weighing out the big paycheck but not having time with your family, like sometimes it's worth taking that cut a little bit on the salary side and having breakfast and dinner, and that's beyond money value. Yeah.
So it's definitely...
But it's easy. And once you make those sacrifices, like I know for me and my husband, we just kind of sat down and we're like, okay, well, we can sell that. We can sell that. We don't need that payment. We don't need that. We can get rid of that. We don't have to go on a major vacation every year. We can do that every 2 years or whatever and be perfectly fine. And we haven't missed a thing. Like once you get the good life back, like there was no second guessing, like, oh, I missed the money so much, like because of what you gain from your time with your family. It's so worth it. But
yeah, it's been crazy. Like you said, being there for family is important, and our
for
friends
yourself
and ourselves. Going through like a close family friend's death has been tough. Just how how do you support the loved ones that are left behind the best? And yes, like they're in a better place, but you remember all the like wonderful memories and how different it's going to be going forward without them. Like we do a lot of scalloping or boning with them, and so it's just very, very different. Yeah. So I don't really look forward to like losing a parent, because I'm like, it's hard enough like losing a family friend that's that age, but like
we should do an episode on that, because
grief,
we need to do grief, and my parents are getting older, and there's just a lot of things that I never thought about. Like you think you've seen people like take care of their older adults, but there's a lot we could talk about in that. Like I'd love to talk about it, because I'm kind of going through a lot of things right now with mine. So
even
and it
like
could be
changing
stressful.
Bills, and like how do you like, I remember them getting blocked from the account just because it's like, both names are on there, but the account was set up in his name, so you can't go on it. And it's like, well, we have to. Right. Like, so it's just kind of...
And that's prepare. Like, we just did a thing on preparing for emergencies. And it's hard to have those conversations. So we could, like, talk about that all day, but, like, having that conversation with your adult parents, your older adult parents, of, like, can we get somebody else on the bank account, so if something happens, you know, we can pay for all the medical bills or whatever that needs to take place.
Right.
And it's hard to have those conversations, because nobody wants to think about that, and they're going to think, you know, you're thinking they're dying, you know.
I still have to do that with my son. Like, we've got to, like, who's the next, who's his power of attorney, who's he go to? I'm like, I don't want to think about leaving.
Well, that's something people don't think about. Like, you need a will, you know, and even in your 40s, like, you had a car accident. Like, not that it was a bad one, but, like, there can be bad
And I'm not in my 40s.
I'm way past my 40s. But, you know, we had motorcycles, and it was like, we really need to have a will just in case something happens. And you think, oh, nothing's going to happen, and I'm in my 30s or whatever. But yeah, there's some things you should think about, because you never know.
You never know. You don't. It's like you got to appreciate each day, each opportunity, learn from it, give the most you can each day.
But like you said, it goes both ways for children and for, you know, spouses you might lose. Like, you need to spend time with the relationships. And with me, with my parents, that was one of the big reasons why I pulled away from my previous awesome, amazing, like the most greatest job ever. But it's because I wanted to be there for my parents who are aging, and I want to be there for my kids who are now older and having their own families. I want to be part of their lives, and my grandkids eventually's life. And so just weighing out whatever it is on that life side, and weighing out your job and making sure you don't sacrifice too much. I think you have to, only you can decide what that is, of what you're willing to sacrifice. Yeah,
that's true.
Because your jobs are rewarding, like you talked about. Your job was very, very rewarding.
Yeah, it's making a big difference, and I miss it, but I don't miss the drive. I really love the time with family. It's made a big difference.
And how many jobs have you had? Let's just say in the past year.
Well, I was there for like a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think a little bit over a year before I changed again. And they used to be in the same company, and so then they had split. So it's kind of like I went back with the original.
So you had about 3 shifts, it seems like, over the past couple of years, maybe?
Right, yeah. The one was, the long time. Yeah.
So I think that's important, because I feel that for pharmacy, and I think for in general, these new graduates that are coming through, I kind of read this somewhere. I don't remember where I read it, but you know, we the old guys grew up where, you know, you got your education maybe in pharmacy, and you got that job, and maybe you were in that job for 30 years and you had a great salary, and then you're retired. But the new people coming up, I was listening or read it or something somewhere, was like the person going into the working field now will have like 9 to 12 jobs.
Wow.
So it's kind of normalizing that you don't have to stay in one job, or it's going to be norm that you kind of try a job and then move to another job. Like, that's kind of the trend for these younger guys.
Yeah.
And so I think for us older guys that kind of feel like we should be able to sit back on our laurels and have everything just be normal and quiet.
Right.
Like, I don't think that's going to be the way of the future.
No.
I think it's going to be very common for somebody to kind of like bounce around. And I think it's empowering to you, right? Because you made the life that you wanted. Yeah. Like, you made that choice.
And stuff is literally falling into place. Not the way I saw it at all. Like, it was one of these where I'm like, okay, I kind of gave like a month range, so that way I could make sure everything transitioned well. and it was like on vacation, okay, you're gone in 2 days. I'm like, oh, okay. Like that was surprising, but then it worked out so well, like the perfect timing, like just having this more family time. I mean, just, I can't even describe like all the little, you call them synchronicities or something, like just all these things just lining up perfect. I'm like, I couldn't have even planned that if I tried. So it's just been such a blessing. So,
but it's because I think, and here goes my ooey gooey
ooh,
side.
I love when Heather goes there.
Because I think your mindset was in alignment with your heart. Like, I think you knew what your heart was saying, and you kind of were already in your mind kind of thinking along the lines of what your heart was already telling you. And I think once you start kind of living in that place of where your heart, the truth of yourself is, then the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, like, it just plays out for you. I think the universe or God or whatever, divinity just waits for you to like fall in line with like what your passion is. And if your passion is becoming the best pharmacist and running all of CVS pharmacy or whatever, you got to follow that, and the universe will help you. But I think that's what that is like, you kind of fell in line with like, okay, I'm listening to my heart. Right. This is what my heart is saying. Yeah. And then the universe said like, yes, boom, boom, boom.
Well, thinking of heart, like you were just auditioning for what, a yin yoga teacher position?
So I feel such a calling. I really do. It sounds really weird, but like, I want to be a yoga teacher. Like, I just feel like that would be the coolest thing ever. And, so I took the yin teacher training.
And you're going to teach all of us here on Pharmacists Out of the Box.
Sometime, we'll have to do it.
We're going to do a session.
I would love that. And so right now I'm doing a lot of private sessions with one-on-one individuals, and that's really cool. I really like that. But where I actually teach yoga, or where I go for yoga, they are potentially have some room for another teacher.
I like how you said that. You teach yoga there. Like, you are just owned
manifested
it. I love it.
I manifested it. But yeah, so I'm auditioning with them. I have a second audition, which is really good news. Yeah. So I got a second audition, and so I think I have a really good chance.
They didn't tell you you're just teaching that class.
Yeah. We're doing an hour-long second audition, and there's going to be 20 people in there.
Let's see how you do.
Let's see how you do, because we need you. No. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm also, you don't know this.
Oh, no.
Ooh. I'm signed up for the 200-hour teacher training.
Stop.
Yes. For the other kinds of yoga. So now I'm taking that. You want to take it with me?
I would love to, but I have no time.
It's like on the weekends. It's like Tuesday.
I've got a kid. Do they have childcare? Like, did you miss that?
It's like Tuesday nights and then Saturday and Sunday for 8 weeks or something like that.
That's so tempting.
And even if you don't want to teach, like, it just gives you all like the goodness, you really learn what yoga is and what the poses and what they're all about. Like, it's more of just enlightening yourself. If you want to learn more or if you want to teach. So I'm taking the 200 hours. Yeah.
So excited. We've got a powerhouse yoga teacher on board.
So, and another thing that I've done since we met, which is another ooey gooey thing. And so this is just a plug. So here in Gainesville, we kind of have a celebrity, or in Alachua, we have a celebrity.
Oh, yeah. No, did you really?
I did. And you weren't here.
Oh, okay.
So there's a book called The Untethered Soul.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did this.
And it is by Michael Singer, but he goes by Mickey. So Mickey Singer, and he's been on Oprah and all kinds of things. And he's just a very deep, meditative, yogi kind of guy.
Was he like that in person?
Yeah, really, a lot. He has his hair in a ponytail, and he sits and, in a lotus, and he talks, But anyway, he's really cool. So we have...
Did you go with Claudia?
No, I went with Dan.
Dan, you drug Dan. How did he like it?
He loved it. And I gotta tell you the funny story. I gotta tell you the goodness. Story. So it's called the Temple of the Universe.
I'm sorry, guys. This is crazy. I'm like, yes, he probably would. Okay.
And I'm like at the end of his book. His book is amazing if you want to read The Untethered Soul. It's about finding your true self and letting go of like the BS of the world. If you want to like let go of all the stuff you worry about and all the... oh, she said that, and you focus on that all day, and what does that mean? What does she mean when she said that? And you know how we just are consumed by that one little thought in our head that just like that's what he talks about. Like, how do you get past that and like live the life that you're meant to live as a spirit? Anyway, so it's a great book, and you can go to his temple here. And he does talk on Sundays. So I was wanting to go, and Dan said he'd love to go with me. So one Sunday instead of church, we were going to go there. And I look it up online, and it's like, okay. And what I read was that there's a 9:15 service on Sunday and an 11:15. 11:15. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, cool. We'll go to the 11:15. We'll sleep in. So I get there. We got there early because at the bottom it says before every service there's a 30 minutes optional meditation.
Ooh.
So I thought, oh, we'll go and we'll kind of get there for the meditation like a half hour early, and then so we got there about 10:30, somewhere around there. So we get there 10:30, thinking I'm gonna sneak into like this meditation, and we sneak in, and the place is packed.
What?
And everybody's sitting on the floor and stuff, and he's talking, and I'm like feel really awkward because we've kind of crept in and everything's already going, and I'm like, what time is it? Like, we're here at 10:30.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even supposed to talk till 11:15.
Was he carrying over?
Well, no. And so and then there's two chairs like way over there, and I'm like looking, and Dan's like, just go, and I'm like, there's nowhere to walk. Like, there's people. If I would have the only path to get to those two chairs way over there was to like walk dead straight towards him, and then like cut across in front of the whole people sitting there, and then like go to those chairs over there. So I'm like, and so Dan's like, just go. So finally, I just like go. He didn't. Nobody like helped us. Nobody waved or smiled.
Nobody like split a path.
Gave us a like.
You just jump over people.
And so we're just like. So we just walked in and we
Those
sat in our
two chairs
chairs.
are meant for you,
I guess. And then he finishes his talk in like 5 minutes, and then they chant a song. We sing a song together, and then it's over. And it was like 11:30, and I was like. So later on, we talked to him and kind of talked to him. It was really cool.
Okay.
You will have to go.
Okay.
I want to go back because it wasn't 9:15 and 11:15. It was 9:15 to 11:15. So we had missed all of it. And we got like the summary, which was really, we got like the wrap.
The Cliff Notes version.
Yeah. So I told Dan we're going to have to go back and like get there at the beginning so we can like experience the whole thing. But yeah, I missed like, because what happened, I went up to him and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry we crept in late. I really thought the website said 9:15, 11:15. And he said, no, it's 9:15 to 11:15. I'm like, oh crap. I must have read that wrong. Nice to meet you, Mickey. We'll be back. But anyway.
Good to know.
It was a very good experience. It was really cool.
That reminded me. So in the Keys, since I had reached out to these moms, I was like, oh, it would be cool to like experience live music and worship at a church. Like, let me just try one out because the Sunday lobster season isn't open, so it wouldn't impede with my catching lobster.
That's important.
Most important. But no, I was like, that would be cool to kind of see how people worship and just experience it. And most churches have a little kid zone. So we go, and I message the girl. I'm like, hey, yeah, we're coming. I'm just grabbing Denny's breakfast, and I'll be right there. She's like, oh, okay, we're not making Sunday school at 9:30. We'll be there for the service. And I was like, I thought the service was at 9. So I stopped this lady in the parking lot. I'm like, what time's the service? She's like, 9 o'clock, give or take. We're on island time. I was like, oh, perfect. And I'm like, I think I'm at the wrong church. I was totally at the wrong church. But I was like, whatever, we're here. Like, I don't want to wait till 9:30 and do a 10:30 service. Like, we're here. And then my husband went to help the other guy that we were staying with, his boat, put it in. So he left Owen and I, like, to do the church thing. And so we take him over to the kid zone, and super nice, super friendly. Owen's like, I don't want to stay. I want to go in big church. I'm like, okay, we're going to go in big church. And I was, like, thinking, oh, yeah, maybe after the songs he'll come back. He'll want to, like,
he'll be over it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Poor kid.
Did you get to enjoy anything?
Well, I did. They had good music and a nice service, but my son didn't want to leave my side. And after traveling for like a whole day, like getting down there, I think his stomach was upset. Oh, no. So he had to go to the bathroom like literally like 4 times. Oh, wow. Guess where the bathroom was? Oh, yeah.
Way back over there?
Pulpit here. Right up there at the front. So each time we're like, go in there. I mean, thank goodness he didn't like go in his pants, but...
And you'll never see those people again.
That's right. But yeah, we visited the bathroom a lot. I was like...
But I always had compassion. If you... I don't know how many times you
no
go
one
to church,
judged.
When you go to church, and you have that screaming kid in the back, and you just feel for that mom.
Yes.
Because you've been there, and you're like sweating, and you're just like, shh. You're trying to give them every toy, drink, food. You're just like, oh, and she's sweating, and her hair's shoved,
Yeah. The kid's like, yeah.
Yeah, every time that happens, I'm like, oh, that poor mom. Like, we've
Yeah.
all been there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure everybody understood.
Oh, yeah. But it was very awkward, like you're saying. Yeah, like right up front. Like, hey.
Excuse us.
I know.
Excuse us. Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it was fun. It was a good memory.
Good.
But
Well, it sounds like you've been doing good. And
Yeah.
I'm glad we could catch up
I
on
know.
camera.
On camera, sharing it with
Yeah.
all of y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything, I guess the MCM calls, you said kind of the busiest times at the end of the month, it sounds like.
Well, my pay is month-wise. So as many calls
Okay.
as I can get within a calendar month. So at the last couple of days, you're trying to like, I have a goal. I'm a goal-centered person. So like I have my goal and like I'm trying to get to my goal. And I have a few more calls to make. So today and tomorrow are the last days of the month. So I'll be
Awesome.
kind of pushing.
And now that we're into fall, we're going to like plan out our schedules and like figure out
We have some great guests on our list that we're going to invite to share with you guys. So
Can't wait.
Yeah, lots of new ones, lots of new exciting people.
I get so excited about it. Like, just like learning from different people and chatting and like, it's almost like I have permission to like ask them these burning questions I wanted to ask or like how people stay motivated or what they do for self-care or how they even found this job. Like, I don't know why that excites me so much. I'm just so curious.
Yeah, we love sharing with you guys. So stay tuned and come back and see us, and we'll have lots of great content for you guys coming up.
Yes, and hopefully we won't have to record anything in the hurricane.
And if we do it, I'm sure it'll be exciting.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
We'll make it good.
I'm
Bryn.
I'm Heather. See you next time.
Pharmacists Out of the Box.